Picture this. Madison Square Garden, 1995 playoffs. The air is thick with tension. The Knicks are up by 6 with under 19 seconds left. Game 1, looking bleak for the Indiana Pacers. But then it happens. A quick 3 from Reggie Miller. A steal. Another 3. A foul. Then 2 clutch free throws. 8 points. 9 seconds. The Knicks and their biggest fan, Spike Lee, are in disbelief. It's not just a comeback. It's a statement. It's Miller time. But how does a kid, born with hip deformities so severe he needed leg braces until he was 5, with doctors unsure if he'd ever walk normally, become one of the most clutch players in NBA history? How does he transform into the ultimate villain for the New York Knicks and the undisputed hero of Indiana? Reginald Wayne Miller's story starts in Riverside, California, born into an outrageously athletic family. His older brother, Daryl, played in the MLB. His sister, Cheryl Miller, was a certified hoops legend, an Olympic gold medalist, and arguably the greatest women's basketball player ever. Imagine trying to stand out in that household. Young Reggie's unorthodox shooting form? It was forged trying to get a shot over his sister during their famously intense one-on-one backyard battles. He was constantly challenged, constantly pushing. He didn't just walk. He ran, he shot, he excelled. After dominating in high school, Reggie headed to UCLA. And while he couldn't quite put up Cheryl's insane 105-point high school game numbers, yes, 105, he made his own mark. By his senior year, with the NCAA introducing the three-point line, Miller truly exploded. He finished as UCLA's second all-time leading scorer, behind only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was ready for the NBA. But when the Pacers drafted him 11th overall in 1987, the reception in Indianapolis was less than enthusiastic. Fans booed loudly, wanting local hero Steve Alford. Little did they know, they weren't just drafting a player, they were drafting a legend. The Pacers' future, and the legend of Miller time, was just beginning. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Reggie's story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more awesome basketball content, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite Reggie Miller moment? Despite the hometown boos on draft night, Reggie Miller quickly started proving the doubters wrong. Coming off the bench as a rookie, he averaged 10 points per game and even broke Larry Bird's rookie record for threes in a season. By his second year, he was a starter, averaging 16 points and already hitting over 40% from deep, a feat he'd achieved 10 times in his career. But it was in his third season, 1989-90, that things truly took off for both Miller and the Pacers. After 2 mediocre years, Indiana finally posted their first winning season in 9 years, winning 42 games. Miller's individual leap was a huge reason why. At just 24, he exploded for 24.6 points per game on incredible shooting splits, 51% from the field, 41% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line. This stellar performance earned him his first of 5 All-Star selections and solidified his status as a rising star. Mid-season, he even outdueled Michael Jordan with a then-career-high 44 points, a clear message to the league. Miller and the Pacers were for real. Suddenly, this forgotten ABA franchise was back on the NBA map, all thanks to Reggie. What made him so dangerous? His constant motion, his tireless off-ball work, and that lightning-quick release were mesmerizing for Pacers fans and absolutely exhausting for opposing defenders. He became the guy seeking to be the go-to scorer, the one who could ignite an offense. And he delivered night after night. During the 1992-93 season, Miller set the Pacers' single-game scoring record, dropping an incredible 57 points, a record that still stands over 30 years later. He truly was electric in the postseason, too, averaging over 27 points in the 1992 and 1993 playoffs. But despite his individual brilliance, team success in the playoffs remained elusive early on, with the Pacers struggling to get past the first round. Something had to give for Miller to finally translate his star power into deeper postseason runs. What do you think was the biggest factor in Reggie Miller's early rise to stardom? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into basketball legends. The individual brilliance was there, but the Indiana Pacers needed a catalyst for team success. Ahead of the 1993-94 season, they found one in legendary coach Larry Brown. With roster shakeups and Brown's defensive mindset, Reggie Miller's scoring dipped slightly, but his efficiency soared. He joined the elite 50-40-90 club, becoming only the third player in history, after Bird and Mark Price, and the only one in the entire 90s decade to achieve this incredible feat. The Pacers, fueled by Miller's newfound efficiency, shattered expectations, winning 47 games and securing their first NBA playoff series victory by sweeping the Orlando Magic. It was in that 1994 postseason that Reggie Miller officially became a household name and, for many, the NBA's ultimate villain. After upsetting the top-seeded Hawks, the Pacers faced their arch-nemesis, the battle-tested New York Knicks. In an unforgettable Game 5 at Madison Square Garden, Miller scored an astonishing 25 of his 39 points in the fourth quarter. As he torched the Knicks, he famously jawed at superfan Spike Lee, who was sitting courtside. This iconic interaction, cemented by Miller's choke sign gesture, gave birth to the legend of Miller Time and ignited one of the most bitter, years-long rivalries in NBA history. Though the Knicks ultimately won the series, Miller had left an indelible mark. If New York thought they'd seen the last of Miller's theatrics, they were sorely mistaken. In the 1995 Eastern Conference semifinals, the Pacers once again met the Knicks. In Game 1, with the Knicks leading by 6 with just 18.7 seconds left, Miller unleashed one of the most unbelievable playoff flurries ever. 8 points in a mere 9 seconds. He hit a three, stole the inbound pass, hit another three, got fouled on a desperation three-point attempt, and calmly sank both free throws. It was pure, unadulterated Miller time at its most legendary, propelling the Pacers to an improbable victory and further etching his name in a playoff lore. The Pacers finally slayed their Knicks demons in that series, but after a hard-fought Eastern Conference Finals loss to Shaq and Penny's Magic, Reggie would have to wait for another crack at the title. He did, however, taste gold medal glory with Team USA at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. But the ultimate challenge came in 1998 as the Pacers, now featuring a revamped roster with players like Mark Jackson and Jalen Rose under the guidance of Larry Bird as coach, pushed Michael Jordan's defending champion Chicago Bulls to the absolute limit in a thrilling 7-game conference finals. Miller added another iconic moment, hitting a game-winning three over Michael Jordan in Game 4. Despite the agonizing Game 7 loss, Miller's Pacers proved they could stand toe-to-toe with greatness, setting the stage for one final push for an NBA championship. Which Miller time moment stands out most to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're loving this deep dive into Reggie Miller's career, please like this video and subscribe to Hoops Hindsight for more legendary basketball stories. Despite pushing Jordan's Bulls to the brink, the elusive championship continued to slip through Reggie Miller's fingers. There was another Eastern Conference Finals loss in the lockout-shortened 1999 season, this time to their arch-rival Knicks, even with New York missing Patrick Ewing. The Garden faithful, led by Spike Lee, had a field day at Miller's expense in the series clincher, as Reggie had an uncharacteristically poor shooting night. Still, year in and year out, Miller and the Pacers kept plugging away, their efforts finally culminating in a trip to the NBA Finals in 2000. Though his regular season numbers had begun to dip in what would be his final All-Star season at 34, Miller averaged 24 points per game during the 2000 playoff run. The top-seeded Pacers outlasted Ray Allen's Bucks, Allen Iverson's 76ers, and yes, the Knicks again, to claim the Eastern Conference crown. Facing Shaq and Kobe's Los Angeles Lakers in the finals, the Pacers ultimately fell in 6 games. But it's crucial to remember how close they pushed that Lakers dynasty. Indiana was one of only 3 teams and the only finals opponent to win 2 games against LA during their early 2000s three-peat. They proved they belonged on the biggest stage. The 2000 finals marked the end of an era. Larry Bird stepped down as coach, and key teammates like Mark Jackson and Dale Davis moved on. This ushered in a new phase, with the Pacers acquiring Jermaine O'Neal, who would become the team's next star. While there were growing pains, with Miller transitioning into more of a veteran leadership role, he still delivered. In the 2001 playoffs, facing Iverson 76ers, a 35-year-old Miller once again stunned Philadelphia with a game-winning three in Game 1, a classic Miller time moment that proved he still had plenty left in the tank. By the 2003 to 2004 season, with O'Neal breaking out and Rick Carlisle at the helm, the Pacers exploded for a franchise record 61 wins. Miller, at 38, was now a role player, averaging 10 points, but he started 80 games for the league's top seed. They pushed the eventual champion Detroit Pistons to 6 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. The stage seemed set for Miller's final season, 2004 to 2005, to be the one where he finally hoisted the trophy. However, fate intervened with the infamous Malice at the Palace brawl in Detroit. Lengthy suspensions for key players like Ron Artest derailed the team's championship hopes, leaving Miller to play inspiring ball for an underman squad. In March 2005, through his sister Cheryl, Reggie announced his retirement. The outpouring of love was immense, culminating in a touching moment at Madison Square Garden, where even old nemesis Spike Lee joined the standing ovation for the legendary Nick Killer. Miller's final game came against the Pistons in the 2005 playoffs. At 39, he scored 27 points, leaving everything on the court. When he checked out for the last time, he was met by a standing ovation from both Pacers fans and the Pistons crowd, a truly emotional send-off orchestrated even by Coach Larry Brown. It was clear, a champion or not, Reggie Miller was, and always would be, a legend. What do you remember most about Reggie Miller's incredible journey to the NBA Finals in 2000, or the emotional end to his career? Share your memories in the comments. If you're enjoying this deep dive, please like this video and subscribe to Hoops Hindsight for more legendary basketball stories. Reggie Miller never won that elusive NBA championship. Only 7 players in NBA history have appeared in more playoff games without a ring to show for it. But to judge his career solely by that missing piece of hardware would be a profound disservice to one of the game's true legends. He was the heart and soul of the Indiana Pacers for nearly 2 decades, playing more games for a single franchise than all but 5 other players in NBA history. He was a workhorse, playing every single game in a season 6 times and missing 10 or more games only twice in his entire 18-year career. Miller was a pioneer, ahead of his time as a shooter. His 13-year reign as the NBA's all-time three-point leader, which finally ended when Ray Allen surpassed him in 2011, is the longest such reign among the top 32 three-point shooters ever. As a clutch performer, he has few equals across the entire sports world. Remember Jermaine O'Neal checking himself out of a game in 2005, just 3 points shy of the Pacers' single-game scoring record, so the honor would still belong to Reggie? That's how beloved he was in Indianapolis. A couple of years after his retirement, in 2007, the Boston Celtics, who went on to win the title that season, even invited Miller to join their super team. But Reggie, ever loyal, declined. He simply had nothing left to prove. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2012, a fitting tribute to his incredible career. Today, Reggie continues to share his passion for the game as a successful broadcaster for TNT, a career that's actually lasted longer than his playing career. And, in a fitting full-circle moment, his broadcasting journey began, ironically, in the shadow of TNT sideline reporter Cheryl Miller, proving that even legends aren't entirely safe from their big sisters. From a kid who wasn't supposed to walk properly, to becoming the face of Indiana basketball, the most famous arena's biggest villain, and one of the NBA's 75 greatest players, a selection that caused some debate outside of Indiana. But not a soul in his adopted home questioned it. He embodied grit, determination, and a fierce competitive spirit that resonated deeply with fans. For 2 decades, every time the ball was in his hands in a clutch situation, everyone knew it was Miller time. And for Pacers fans, any time is still Miller time. What's the one word you'd use to describe Reggie Miller's impact on the NBA? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through a true legend's career, please like this video and subscribe to Hoops Hindsight for more incredible basketball stories.